Hey, welcome back to the last or one of the last videos of Introduction to Biology. Um, this is just a super brief introduction to animal anatomy and physiology, also human anatomy and physiology. Very brief, so we're not going to go into specific organ names that much. We're just going to go over general cardiac, digestive, and urinary systems. Maybe a little bit of the skeletal system as well, but um, from there you'll have to go and take the anatomy and physiology course to know more if you're interested. But let's get started. So we're going to start off with organs, what organs are, how they work. Then we're going to go into digestive system and urinary system, which is just a multiple series of organs that digest food and water. Muscles, which is how you move. Skeleton, which is, how you stand up and have a frame. Some animals do not have skeletons. Starfish, jellyfish, insects don't. And then humans specifically, we're gonna go because a lot of this is gonna be about animals, but or farm animals like pigs and horses and other stuff. But this last unit will be specifically about humans. Okay, starting off with organs. An organ is a group of tissues in a living organism that have been adapted to perform a specific function. I'm sure you already have seen an example of an organ before. You already know what a heart is, but that's just the actual definition. Animal tissues are the assembly between cells to form a body parts and organs. Organs are just groups of tissues. Um, so just a little pre-test, I guess. If you want to pause the video here and try to guess um, what each of these organs are that these lines are drawing to. This dot right here is supposed to be this brown organ. It's just that it's the same color, so it's not specifically on it. Um, okay, if you want to pause right here. All right, perfect. So we have the bladder down here, which if you said something like rectum, anus, even large intestine, you would be mostly correct. So take that one. Intestine. This is specifically the small intestine. Um, it's where the food is transferred into nutrients. Spleen filters and stores blood cells, which spleen is down here. It's also hard to tell. This diagram is not the greatest, but it's one that I found and I figured might as well. Um, Then we have the stomach, which is the large thing in the center here. Storage for food and also transfers foods from solids to liquids with using acid or stomach acid. Lungs. This is the very large in pigs, especially like when you consider the size of every other organ in their body. But these are the pig lungs right here. Um, it's just where animals breathe in oxygen and add carbon, and so it's CO2 when they breathe it out. This is a liver down right here. This is metabolic processes, balancing metabolism. If you're not sure what that is yet, just take the anatomy course. So I'm forcing you guys to take the anatomy course. There you go. This is the digestive system. A lot of these are not in humans. These first four are in cows and other species with ruminical stomachs. They have four different stomachs, but here is the largest, which is the first one as well. It's the rumen. Used in cows to ferment and store foods. Pretty basic. It's where the food first gets put. The second, stomach. Hard objects. This can actually cause infections if they eat metal and it goes to this. You'd need special treatment for your cows, but yes, this is reticulum. Omasum, which is the third stomach, used to absorb liquids from the food. Obomasum, the last stomach, used to finally break down foods and turn it into nutrient or take down the nutrients and turn it into energy and take sugars and all that good stuff. This is the gizzard, also another thing that are not in humans. Used to grind food, and in some species contain plates or teeth. Um, I believe insects have gizzards that have teeth on them or plates in them. And pancreas, this is actually in humans, produces enzymes used to break down sugars, fats, and starches. So these are your general components of the digestive system, of how you turn food into energy and nutrients. Um, Here's the steps that an animal would usually take. First, it gets ingested in the mouth, then it's stored in the stomach, also turned usually from solids to liquids. Intestines, which is the liquid that it just got, is then turned into nutrients for the body and energy. And then the anus is just, or anything like that really, anus, bladder, all that, used for leftover foods or liquids. A urinary system. Here is just the physiology, so the names um, of a lot of the key components. Kidney is very used. As you can see, there's multiple for blood filtration. This is basically for blood filtration. Um, and it's used in essentially all the animals. Um, Nephrons, Bowman's castle, and loop of Henle. I'm not going to draw or put a diagram up of the kidney in these nephrons and all that because I feel like that'd be too confusing to start off with. But just knowing that these exist and that the kidney filtrates blood is important. Convoluted tubules, just in mammals. So that's a reabsorption of the of urine and to go to the using the ureter to go into the bladder. Again, these are I'm not gonna have these drawn out because I feel like it'll be too confusing. That's for an anatomy class, but these are good to know these exist. Um, okay. Excretion of and osmorgulation. I don't even know. But anyways, food initially enters or drinks initially enter the mouth. Um, it goes into your blood system, but then the blood is filtered with the kidney. And the liver maintains homeostasis during the process, and the bladder stores the filtered stuff that you don't want in your body, and then eventually it's excreted. All right, here's muscles. This is my favorite one. Three types of muscles: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. You can take your guesses as to which one is which. Um, you may or may not get it. We'll see. Skeletal muscles are the muscles that most people think of, like for bodybuilders and strongmen. These are the muscles that are make your body push, move, and move your bones, because these are attached to your bones and they contract or exp or yeah, contract according to which way your body parts are going. Um, this is an example of a bicep, and I did have a diagram of muscles right here. You don't really need to take in this information quite yet. This is for the anatomy class, but if you would like an introduction, um, this is the anatomy of a basic muscle fiber or the basic skeletal muscle. And this is the bicep, which contracts when your arm contracts towards you, and your tricep on the other side goes when your arm extends. We've got smooth muscles, which are found in hollow organs throughout the body. These are involuntary movements and digestion, breathing. There's also blinking. There's also any sorts of things like anything throughout the digestion and um, drinking, eating process. These are cardiac muscles over here, which, if you did not know, cardiac usually is something related with the heart. So cardiac muscles are only found in one layer of the heart, the myocardium. These muscles are responsible for your heartbeat and blood being pumped throughout the body. So you don't want to be missing these, but also you can't really train them. They're just kind of there in one specific part of your body. Okay. Here's a quick anatomy of muscles within a horse. Um, Again, you don't need to memorize any of this. This is all just information that for anatomy that you might want to know if it interests you. Just some basic muscle anatomy. Um, some of this also transfers over to people as well. So, for example, deltoids right here. This is the horse's shoulder, just as it would be the shoulder for us. And many other, like trapezius, the back or the central back, which is the same for us. There's a whole bunch of muscles in here that cross over for humans as well. Um, but they just look much different on a horse because the horse is much different. Um, but there's some basic muscles. Skeleton. So there's four different types of bones: long bones, short bones, flat bones, and regular bones. You can guess what each of these mean. They're pretty self-intuitive. For example, and I have a cat skeleton here. A long bone would be like the humerus bone right here. See, it's just very long, straight. It's just a bone. A short bone would be some of these rib cage bones, perhaps, because they're pretty short. Maybe some of these toe or feet bones. Um, we have some irregular bones as well, like the spine bones are very irregularly shaped, or like the hip bones. And we also have some flat bones, which, if you did not know, the skull is cut up into different sections when you're considering it for a different part of it. So it would be considered um, part of it would be considered flat bones because it would just be different taken in different chunks of flat. So we have some names here as well. Scapula that goes over to humans, clavicle, humerus, radius. A lot of these are femur, tibia. A lot of these bones also transfer over to humans, so we like to keep things consistent, but you don't need to memorize any of this. Again, just some introduction to the skeletal system. And then here's humans. This is us. So on the left, I have muscles, on the right, I have bones. You can memorize these if you want. I would recommend memorizing the muscles just because it's useful information to know, especially if you want to work out or do sports of some sort. It's good to know what each muscle does. On the right side, we have bones, and that's also useful if you want to know if you've damaged something, especially if you're in sports or working out. If you want to know if you've broken a bone, fractured a bone, or something like that, you would like to know what people are talking about. So biceps on the front of your arm, triceps on the back of your arm, deltoids are on your shoulders, chest is obviously your chest. Um, and okay, it doesn't actually say all of the muscles I would like it to say, but it goes into enough detail for an intro class, I feel. For example, this big purple muscle on your back right here, this is the trapezius. It actually goes up here into this light purple over here as well. Um, for example, these light green in the back over here, this is not part of your abs. This is actually the lats. Um, we have quads, quadriceps, glutes, calves, hamstrings, all these names for muscles in your body. Just a very basic introduction. And then bones over here for your pelvis or your hip bone, your femur, humerus, scapula. All of these names, ribs are especially um, well known. Just knowing these names is useful for the future. If you would like to know more and know what each of these things do, please take the anatomy course. Here's the internal organs, just a quick little run through. I might go into more detail here. Brain is in your head, obviously. It's your central nervous system or part of it. Your heart, your lungs. I already went into detail what each of these does, but yes, different. A lot of these just do filtration of some sort or absorption of nutrients. For example, the intestine over here, or stomach is the storage of food. Stomach, I always feel like in my head before I knew anatomy, it was a lot bigger, but looking at it in person, it's never as big as I think it is. So. But lungs are always way more big than I thought they are, or than I think they are. So, um, just some good information. And thank you for watching the presentation. That was pretty quick. If there's any questions, please make sure to ask me or something. Um, yeah, there would be a quiz. Make sure to review course material. The main takeaway from this course I would like you all to know is the organ functions. So kidney, blood filtration, liver, metabolism, homeostasis, or making sure your metabolism's at appropriate level, bladder, urine storage. Um, these you can know as well, but they're not as useful. The digestive system steps. This is very important. So mouth, stomach, intestines, and then anus. Um, Main general components of the digestive system. These are pretty useful as well. This is mostly for cows, as cows have the first four. But just knowing these or what organs are and what they do, it's pretty important. Um, yeah, thank you for watching. Review the video again and again if you would like to know if you keep forgetting what these organs do. Thank you.